Post Malone is the definition of a rock star. He's got hit songs, sold out shows, tattoos, a custom-made Louis Vuitton guitar, and he's got an official sponsorship with Bud Light so that he can drink as much beer as he wants whenever he wants to. And at just 24 years old, he's been able to buy multi-million-dollar mansions in both LA and Utah. He has the most insane car collection I've ever seen out of anyone we've covered on this series. His driveway includes a custom-made 1967 Lincoln Continental, a Ford Velociraptor 6x6 truck, a Lamborghini Aventador SV, and an all-white Bugatti Chiron, which cost nearly $3 million, and that's not even half of his collection. Post almost died in a near fatal car crash that left his Rolls Royce Wraith wrecked. So, in order to celebrate the fact that he made it out alive, he upgraded his Rolls to the Phantom for $100 grand more. Not a bad way to bounce back. But that's not the only near-death experience Post had last year. In 2018, while on the way to London, the tires on his luxury jet blew and forced an emergency landing. Plus, his property was robbed for $20,000 the same year. The only problem for the robbers was they were targeting Posty, and they didn't get the memo that he had moved into an even bigger LA mansion. Leave my guy Austin alone, man. Let him live. He seems like a nice guy who's just trying to make music and live his life. Post Malone has a reported net worth of $14 million according to Celebrity Net Worth, and that's way up from his $1 million that was listed just 2 years ago when we covered him last for this channel. What's going on, good people, in the comment section? I hope you're having one heck of a day. My name is Jeremy Hecht, and I'll be your host today, walking you through the financial come up of Post Malone, here for you, filling in for Michael McCrudden on The Rich Life. We've recently covered other people on this channel like DDG and MGK, so you let us know who to cover next in the comments down below, and we'll try to get as many of those done for you as possible. Before we start, I've got a trivia question for you though. What is the name of Post Bugatti? And not the model name of the car, the name that the dealer actually gave the car, like a pet name. Place your guesses in the comments down below and stick around for the answer at the end. But without any more talking, let's get into the video. Post Malone was born Austin Richard Post on July 4th, 1995 in Syracuse, New York, but around 10 years old moved to Grapevine, Texas after his dad got a job as the assistant director of food and beverage for the Dallas Cowboys. Post would occasionally get free tickets to games, but he was more interested in music than in football. Post fell in love with Guitar Hero and then decided to try out a real instrument. He taught himself guitar on YouTube, and before long he was playing covers of his favorite musicians. But it wasn't a life of luxury for Post. He was still working at the fast food joint called Chicken Express. Austin's friend Jason was actually a successful YouTuber with more than 1 million subscribers at the time, and he was moving to San Fernando Valley, so Post decided to join along. At 18 years old, he dropped out of college and moved to Los Angeles, sleeping in Jason's closet as he worked on his music. Finally, he came up with his new name using a rap name generator and met production crew FKI, who saw his talent. Together, they created White Iverson, and from there, a star was born, and you know the rest of the story. But before we look at what he spends his money on, let's take a look at how he makes so much of it. Post music was his early moneymaker, of course. He was an independent artist and his songs were getting millions of streams and views online, but soon after his blow up, he signed with Republic Records. As of 2019, Post Malone has sold more than 60 million records in the US, and his song Congratulations received a diamond certification from the RIAA. For those of you who don't know, a diamond certification comes with 10 million records sold. That's insane. And he is no one-hit wonder like people initially thought. He has 7 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and 3 #1 singles with Sunflower, Psycho, and Rockstar. And Rockstar is currently 8 times platinum, so I'm sure he'll get another diamond record soon. Post began touring with Justin Bieber, where he got to see what it was like to play in arenas filled with screaming girls. The two also sparked some controversy when a picture of Post apparently choking Biebs came out before clarifying that it was a joke. I'm just glad he didn't choke when it came to his performances. Alright, I'm gonna go. But since then, Post has been able to have massive tours of his own. All the way back in 2016, Post was grossing over $1 million in tour revenue, but that was just the start. In 2018, Post grossed $20.9 million from his worldwide tour, and in 2019, his international tour grossed $36.4 million off of 414,000 tickets sold. Not to mention all the money he makes from playing festivals. Plus, the guy even has his own music festival in Dallas, Texas called Post Fest. Last year, his headliners included Travis Scott and Tyler, the Creator. Not bad for the first year of his festival. Post Malone also makes money from some sponsorship deals. His most noticeable one is with Bud Light. Even before he was able to drink legally, you could spot Post with a Bud Light can in his hand.
I got this. I'm cool.
And I have a feeling that he was actually getting paid by them low-key, but I would not put the beer company's business out like that. I mean, the man even has his own beer bong assistant, so regardless, this partnership makes sense.
Load me up, Alec. This is Alec. He's the beer bong guy. Keep him around. makes $1,000 a day just doing beer bongs.
But now the two are definitely business partners. Post has performed at Bud Light sponsored shows, and the beer company even recently announced that they are collaborating with Post on a clothing line. Yes, you heard that right. The line will include a jacket, t-shirts, hoodies, and sweatpants that feature lyrics from his upcoming album. All right, so let's get into the fun part. What does Posty spend his money on? Well, he has two massive properties. Before buying a new LA mansion, which we'll get to in just a second, he was renting a home for $12,000 a month. It was a 4,169 square foot, 5-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom place, and was estimated to be worth around $2.5 million. It had a swimming pool, fireplace, and double glass doors at the back entrance. The home was originally built in 1960. One day, Jake Paul even showed up to the house with some merch, which I'm assuming would have been, could have been a highlight of his year.
We got some merch, bro. We got some merch.
Can't be confirmed or not if Jake Paul was in any way responsible for this, but side note, last year, the house was robbed over Labor Day weekend. The burglars targeted Post Malone specifically after finding out his address online and stole $20,000 worth of cash, phones, and jewelry. Well, nobody told the burglars that Post Malone no longer lived there. He had already moved out of the place prior to the robbery into his new LA mansion. I mean, technically they still stole $20,000, so I'm not sure they cared whose money it was, but it wasn't Post Malone's money, so it couldn't have felt as good. If I'm thinking from the mindset of a burglar. I don't know. As for Post's new home in LA, not much has been reported on it, and I can assume that he wants more privacy with this one, so we're gonna move on, but I can only imagine it's even nicer than the last. He also purchased a 13,000 square foot home in northern Utah for $3 million. Speaking of privacy, the less hectic life of Utah allows Posty to relax and find some peace whenever he needs a break from Hollywood. Fans have even spotted him at the local Salt Lake City Targets, where he is happy that he can carry around his guns, unlike in LA. Post is a car fanatic. The guy has a lot of cars. After having to borrow a Rolls Royce from his friend for the White Iverson music video back in the day, he's finally able to purchase his own Rolls Royce Wraith, which run for around $320K, but unfortunately the car was totaled in 2018 after he got into a near fatal car crash. Luckily, Post was okay and thankfully made it out alive, so to celebrate the fact that he was still living and unharmed, just one day after the crash, he went out and bought an upgrade. I'm talking about the Rolls Royce Phantom. These things cost around 450 grand, so definitely was a step up for Post. I would probably be scared to drive the same type of car that I just got into a car accident in, but then again, it is a Rolls Royce, so I'm probably not gonna be that picky about it. On top of the attempted home invasion and the car crash, Post Malone was also in another near-death experience on an airplane. Post was flying on a Gulfstream Aerospace GLF-4 luxury jet from New Jersey to London, but after the pilot realized the tires were blown, they had to have an emergency landing on the plane.
He was stuck at high altitude for hours today trying to fly to London. A problem on takeoff from Teterboro, a safe landing 5 hours later here in Orange County.
Post told TMZ, "Oh my God, I hate flying in general. I don't even know what to say, man. I'm shook. We're here on Earth and I need a beer and I need some wine at the same time, mixed together." Lucky for Post, I'm sure Bud Light sent over a fresh case of beer.
I got this. I'm cool.
Post owns a 1968 Chevrolet C10 with an LS engine and a bag suspension. I have no idea what those two things mean because I don't really know much about cars, but it sounds like it's a good car. What I am also not sure of is why Post Malone is not wearing any shoes outside. In Canada, we don't wear shoes inside. Americans keep their shoes on inside, but I still wear shoes when I go outside. I'm not judging you, Post. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying it looks like those feet could be a little musty. He bought the truck in Salt Lake City. Maybe he wanted to drive something, a little unsuspecting around Utah as to not bring too much attention to him, as that is one of the reasons he moved out there in the first place. The car did cost him 50 grand though. But that's not even the oldest car in Post's collection. He owns a 1967 Lincoln Continental, which was modified by West Coast Customs. He's also got this.
I wanted to make the swag mobile. That's how everybody comes to my house and they see this car and they know that I live here and they come bother me. Check this shit out. Boom, got him.
Post recently got a Ford Velociraptor 6x6 truck for driving around Utah in the winter. The car cost close to 350 grand, but I have a feeling absolutely no one would mess with you on the road while driving that thing. Lane changes, easy. If I see that thing switching into my lane, I am slowing down and moving out of the way and then probably switching into the next lane so I don't have to drive behind it. Post bought a 2013 Subaru WRX STI with over 23K miles on it, but Posty just loved the way the car looked. He even stopped to take some pictures with fans in the lot. But his prized possession is also an all-white Bugatti Chiron. I think that's how you pronounce it, but if I'm wrong, roast me in the comments. This is actually his most expensive car and probably his fastest as well.
Oh, this is not like any of that shit.
There's so much torque and power.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my God.
Do you like it?
I fucking love it.
The car reportedly cost close to $3 million.
Post Malone is getting, so this is fantastic. Super happy for this guy. He deserves it, works hard, plays hard, and this is exactly the candy at the end of a hard working day.
His car costs as much as his house in Utah. That is crazy. I feel like I've already gone through like 10 cars, but the guy's got even more. He also owns a Lamborghini Aventador SV. The car was modified by R1 Sports in LA with enhanced carbon fiber exterior and some new wheels. It also has a custom exhaust system from R1. And again, like I said, I don't know that much about cars, but I do know that that means the engine is pretty loud. So loud, in fact, that Post had to actually cover his ears after hearing it rev for the first time. Of course, it's hard to miss that he also spends a lot of money on his tattoos. It was actually Justin Bieber who inspired him to get his first ink, but he might be saving some cash now because Post occasionally inks himself. In our last Rich Life video on him, we talked about Post tattoos, and he was just getting started on his face tattoos. Today, his face is almost fully tatted with Always Tired covering up the bags under his eyes. Post has a crazy jewelry collection also including his gold Rolex, a lot of chains, a lot of grills, and so much more. He also owns some weird luxury items like this medieval sword and a Louis Vuitton guitar. Post also gives back to his fans. He spent nearly 10 grand on some Popeyes for his fans during a Coachella weekend party. I have a feeling if the chicken sandwiches were out at that time, the bill would have been much larger than 10K. Man, I just started thinking about those chicken sandwiches. Ever since I tried it for the first time, it's all I can think about, and they're sold out. So I'm not sure what to do. Anyways, the answer to the question from the beginning of the video was that Post's car is actually named Angel. If you guessed that right in the comments, I'll give you a follow. I'll respond to you if I see it. But as for this video, that's all I got for you. Dream good, live better. I hope you have one heck of a day. And let us know who to cover next in the comments down below. I try to read and respond. I don't know why I said it weird, to as many people as possible. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can send me requests there. I don't know why I'm rambling. I feel like at the end of videos, I just ramble. So if you've already cut me off, that's fine. I feel like the video was long enough. But if for some reason the editors have this still playing, and I don't know why they would, but if they do, and you're still watching this, then find something better to do with your time. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. All right, see ya.